picture of Braintree today. Obviously this is my hometown, and I'm going to take you around a few of the sites, because I've seen other videos on YouTube and they don't really cover everything about the historic side of Braintree. There's a little bit more to learn. I found some of it really interesting, and I'm going to take you around some of it today. We are going to start off with my newest bit of information, and there is only one video on it's on a Facebook page. It's about Collins, the funeral directors. I'm going to take you to have a look at the front of the shop, which is incredibly beautiful, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about the history. Unlikely to be able to go in there, but I'm going to take a photograph of it anyway. Now, Collins, the funeral directors, is a company that's been here in Braintree for 130 years, 5 generations. Like I said, it's an incredibly beautiful shop, and if we walk along here to the Salvation Army, I'm going to cross the road and see if I can not get run over in the process. We cross the road here, not on the crossing, but they're steady across the middle of the road, and we're going to take you to see the Salvation Army, which we can go in. This is the Salvation Army. Now, from Collins, the funeral, oh, look at the back of it. It is lovely. There's an old building, historic building. Now, somewhere here, there's going to be an entrance which takes you through to the basement of Collins. Why would there be a tunnel under here? Why would there be a tunnel under here going to the funeral directors? Oh, well, we've got some little gravestones here as well. So these are quite old. Some beautiful trees that have been clipped back. This is the Salvation Army in Braintree. Must have lived just around the corner. There's somewhere here, don't think you'll see it. I should imagine it's long been covered up, boarded up, filled in, and but somewhere here would be another entrance to that tunnel I told you about. Well done, guys, at the Braintree Cycle Shop, because the tunnel to the funeral directors is all indeed actually a myth. An April Fool's joke, which I fell for much later. We're just walking up the road past Panfield Lane. Try not to get run over, Debbie. To see some of the other sites of Braintree. Now, when I was here as a small child, I actually had an accident here where I fell under a bus and broke my leg. I'll see if I can dig you out a picture of a small about 3 years old with a broken leg. There's Barclays Bank. Barclays Bank, that's quite a historic building as well. But I'm going to take you to this one. This shop here, which is now a recruitment agency, used to be the toy shop. This was the best toy shop in Braintree, going up 3 levels. This really was the best toy shop in Braintree. I'm going to take you down the road here. It's a shame because there was an old motorbike in the front of there, sadly gone. We've got more Turkish barbers than you can shake a stick at. Holmes and Hills is another beautiful building. Holmes and Hills is a solicitor's. Another historic in Braintree. See what it says about it. We've got a plaque on the wall, so we're going to visit that plaque. I'm walking around looking like a total nutter. Let's see. We've got Samuel Dow, 1659 to 1739. Doctor, botanist and friend of John Ray lived here. If anyone knows anything about Braintree, John Ray was the famous botanist who lived in Baker's Lane. Baker's Lane is currently closed off at the moment. Let's go visit the Institute. The Institute is where all the shows happen. It's now an antiques centre, and they still have, there's an antiques place in here. This is the Institute. I don't know how old the building is, but I remember doing many a dance production in here. It's an amazing building. I'm going to see if I can go inside and have a quick look around. I know there's a little antiques shop on the left, but this is now a theatre. Oh, does this place bring back memories? Because this place has got, I don't say a pungent smell, but an unusual smell. Antique shop is shut today. But this is, I think it's a Coggeshall Players. There's somebody playing. But this is an amazing building. I've just sort of crept in the door, no one's come across me yet. Oh my god, I can remember the changing rooms. Let's have a quick look in the theatre. Look at that. So that's inside the theatre. Inside the theatre at the Institute. I have danced on that stage. Acro Ballet and Tap. There you go, beautiful old theatre here in Braintree. I've got the dates on that somewhere back at home on the wooden floorboards. Like I said, it always has a bit of a musty smell, the Institute. I can't say that it's smelling any better, but that's the Institute. Can't say that will have done the knee surgery much good. It just fell over. Fucking hell. Oh, tripped down the step. Alright, let's carry on. Not to be deterred. Let's carry on. I think maybe we'll go and have a cup of tea, I think. That hurt. Okay, my camera seems to be alright anyway. But some knee pain, which I only had replaced a year ago, so obviously I don't want to damage it. Okay, so I'm taking you now to the Swan. The Swan is under refurbishment and it's going to be called Oceans. Now supposedly there's something under the Swan. Not been able to find out anything on the internet as to what's under the Swan, but currently under refurbishment. Over £1 million being put into this one property, and we're going down towards the little market square. Hopefully I'll try not to fall over again. And then let's go down. This is one of the gants of Braintree. Supposedly there's 8 gants, but I've heard there's more like 13. So here you go. Possibly the best sign in Braintree. Pig's head in the pottage pot gant. A gant is a small alleyway that goes down into the market square. I'm at the rear of the oldest building in Braintree town centre, the Manor House, Little Square Braintree Office Suites. This is the oldest building in Braintree. I can't believe I fell over and bashed my knee. But past yummies. But this blue building is the oldest building in Braintree. It's now a solicitor's. We're going to have a look at the front. This is a law firm. Like I said, the oldest building in Braintree. So we can take a look at it. I might go and have ourselves a cup of tea in a minute because falling over really cracked my knee. And the old opticians, Candyland. This also was an amazing. This also was an amazing toy shop. Can't remember the name of it. I'll ask my mum, but she'll remember. There's an amazing toy shop here on the corner in Little Square. Right, Lever Lane. So, oh, formerly Stony Lane. I didn't even realise that. This is Lever Lane. One of the older parts of Braintree. And I found the second gant, Osborne's Gant. That was the name. That was the name of the toy shop. Was Osborne's Gant. So down the little gant. Let's try not to fall over again. Wow, I'm gonna have a whacking bruise on my knee. Let's go around the back of Osborne's Gant, because I know there's an old building here on the corner. And at one point, this old building, just around the corner to this old building, was a record shop. This is where it was. This is where the record shop was. Parrot Records is now Definition Hairdressing. It doesn't look like a hairdresser's anymore. Around the side of the Swan, we have a lovely pillar box. This is going back to the Swan again. What a wonderful coaching in that is. Let's have a look round, trying not to fall over. I was still in shock that I did that. What a dick I must have made of myself. But this is the other side of the Swan. So we are really in the heart of Braintree. Let's take you to the fire station. In my lifetime, the fire station has always been here. Not much interesting to look at the fire station, but I'm going to take you up to the water tower. Okay. Still at the back of the Swan. And the barns at the back, look how beautiful they are. Doesn't seem to be much going on. I was hoping I was going to be able to go in there and have a little look, but not much going on there. So this was the fire station. They've obviously replicated this building into what was the old fire station tower, Ranger Heights. So I remember that from being a child. Yes, I was always a clumsy child. I was always up a tree and falling out of a tree. Let's stop and have a look at Ranger Heights. This was to do with the fire station. And let's have a look. Let's have a look. So that's a pretty impressive site. I'm gonna go back up this way. I think we might try and get ourselves a cup of tea or a cup of coffee somewhere. I should imagine from when I lived here, up until I was 17. I was born in Braintree. I lived here until I was 17, and then I moved off and went to live in other places. To be honest, I couldn't wait to get out of Braintree. I do have fond memories, but there wasn't a lot going on other than pubs. So let's have a look. Let's go down here. Find another Gant round here. I found three of them already. I believe there's 13. This is where the Tesco's is, but I believe where the Sainsbury's is. I believe there's a Gant round here from the Sainsbury's. Let's see if we can find it. Lots of pigeons, lots of dog ends, and lots of litter. But Braintree Council really ruined the town centre when they took up all the cobblestones. I can't remember what the front of this building is, but I'll take a picture from the back. Another historical building in Braintree, doomed with this monstrosity looming over it, which is Sainsbury's. It's a shame that they allowed Braintree to become so built up. Let's have a look. There's supposed to be another Gant here somewhere. Possibly the next Gant is down here. Gant is just you only get a Gant in Braintree. They all lead down to the market square, and I believe another one of the Braintree Gants. Let's see if I can find a sign somewhere. Well, I remember this place. There's the Bull. They totally took away the cobblestones in Braintree and well, it's just disgraceful what they've done to it, because they totally took away the cobblestones, took away all the history from the town. And the Bull is one of the older buildings in Braintree, still looking fairly good, still looking historical. Let's go down to Tesco's. I'll take you to the Nag. You got the Nag's Hair. Head there on the left. That's been there some time. Still a historical building. Nag's Head. I'll take you to see the Circle in Braintree. The Circle back in the day, the Circle had an owl on the top of it, and the owl was stolen back in the. Must have been back in the 80s when the owl was stolen from the top of the Circle. There, the Circle's got a date on it of 1882, and the owl has never been replaced back on the top of the Circle. Not sure whether it got found. And these are the horse troughs. I didn't even realise as a kid that these were horse troughs. But I remember we all used to sit on the circle. That there used to be an owl on top of there. I'm going to go up to Manor Street School and see if the museum's open. The Manor Street School is just up here. And it's turned into Braintree Museum. Let's see if the Braintree Museum's open. Let's see if the Braintree Museum's open. There's the library. It wasn't always the library. I'm trying to remember what that was, or when that was built, because it wasn't always the library there. The library was up the other road, and the library changed into the Chinese restaurant. But I remember the old library fondly. It's a nice historic building. Braintree District Museum, we might be open. It might actually be open. I might be able to get a cup of tea in here. This used to be Manor Street School. It's like a primary school. Got a statue over here as well. Let's go and have a look at the statue. I must admit I'm getting some funny looks in Braintree, but then I just get funny looks in Braintree. Some old museum and gift shop entrance. Got some old... Oh, that'll be John Ray. John Ray? Would that be John Ray? Not sure that would be John Ray. Museum and gift shop. Let's see if I can get a cup of tea. Should have a sign saying what it... Oh, yep, John Ray, 1627 to 1505. He was a naturalist in... Famous naturalist from Braintree. Let's go into the museum and gift shop entrance. See if they're open. I'll turn this off for now. Now, John Ray Gardens, is that... Where is John Ray Gardens? Oh, it's the public gardens in Bocking End. So I'm going to take you to see the public gardens in Bocking End. They're the John Ray Gardens. And also, there's the Mill House in Bradford Street, Bocking. And there is the boat that the Braintree Company left on to go to the Americas. Oh, Braintree. Some more dinosaurs that have been found. But yeah, if you've got kids, bring them along to the Braintree Museum. There's a couple of youngsters in here at the moment. They seem to be having a whale of a time. Corn dolly making. Yeah, interesting. Dates back 4,000 years. And sort of sparked some interest. But I never realised Braintree was as old as it was. I looked on a great site last night, Old Lost Pubs of England, and oh, hang on, we found something exciting here. The Bocking Brank, commonly known as the Scold's Bridle or the Gossip's Bridle, instrument used to punish and discipline people, mostly women. I like the way it punishes the women. It's got a picture of a man wearing it, so that they didn't gossip and whisper. Oh, it's about John Ray, which is the botanist. A naval ship, and it was called the Kite. So I found that out last night. So we've got Mary Page, Edna Green and Winifred Daines. Victorian dress. Oh, penny farthing. Not quite sure. Oh, felted brown ladies' cape, decorated cut-out work, 1900s. Ah, that's all to do with the yarn business. Local explorers. Oh, that floats my boat. Augustine Courtauld and Quentin Riley were distinguished polar explorers who lived in the Braintree district. Oh, I'm going to definitely looking that up. And that was the suit. That's pretty grim, but I suppose made of leather by the looks of it. Oh, and we've got a Victorian jobs from the mill. We've got a weaving machine from the mill. Braintree was famous for its textiles. There's a mourning cape, a Victorian mourning cape. Quite impressive. Tabor lace, that's something I never knew about. Tabor lace. Tabor School is just up the road. And more pottery. You've got kids, this is a great place to bring in. This must be the main hall of the school. Must be the main hall. Let's have a little look round. Oh, nice old carriage up there with a like a coffin on top, Victorian. So we've got Victorian times and we've got the First World War. Braintree, Second World War. I'm not quite sure what the Cabbage Patch Doll was doing there. Plaque here. Teacher of the school gave his life in the First World War. Corporal George Edmund Baines. He was a teacher at the school in the 12th Battalion of the Royal Sussex Regiment. This has been my favourite room in the museum. You've got an old schoolroom. Look at that. Proper old worldy schoolroom. Victorian times. You can see that by the Victorian green and cream tiles. Can you imagine just sitting here? Imagine. Oh, this would have been scary. I bet they wrapped your knuckles with a stick. Okay, this one's quite higher. I don't know if this would have been like the teacher's one. Got a bit of graffiti on there. I don't know why that one's substantially higher than the others. But, picture of Queen Victoria. Oh, imagine sitting at the teacher's desk. I would have been at the back. Let's have a look. Imagine looking out over all them little kids, telling them what to do. Little sods. Let's have a quick look round here. They've got the old bookcase. It says about evacuees. Got a couple of other little old desks here. And the hula hoops. Evacuee education. School life was disrupted in 1939. Even before Britain entered the war, the government started the evacuation programme for children. Oh, it's a bit intimidating being in here. Nice high ceilings. And we can look out over onto the clock tower. Over there, see the clock tower there. And what is the new library? A little bit about Crittall windows in here, but I'm liking the old-fashioned television. See that lovely Baker-like television there. A bit about Crittall manufacturing. Oh, this is the first shell completed at the Crittall manufacturing plant in Braintree. Currently in the Braintree Museum, which is good. Okay, well, so welcome to the town hall in Braintree with the clock tower. Let's see if they'll let me have a little look inside and go and have a little ask, but that's the town hall. This, I should imagine, this would have been an old pub house, but when I was here, this was a cafe. So let's see what the sign says. So I imagine this would have been a pub. There's got to be some history on that one. Fairfield Road. No, that one is on the corner of Fairfield Road. Let's go down. I can't call that the library because that was built 80s, I think. But that's built on the site of what used to be the old toilets. The public toilets used to be on the site of where the new library is. To find some gants down this way as well. Yeah, so that was the old post office. Down to the Picture Palace. Now, I've totally forgotten about the Picture Palace, which was built in the Deco interior. I should imagine the guts of that place have been ripped out. Let's have a look at the Picture Palace. Ah, it's a Wetherspoons, so it's been turned into a pub. So the Picture Palace is now indeed actually a Wetherspoons, and I'll take you out down here was where the old bus station used to be. So we've got the old bus station down here. Whether it's still there, it'll be quite interesting to find out. Wetherspoons. Ah, I think the lady's right. I think that was where the old bus station was, down there. I'm still convinced it's down there, but I'm going to find out. Let's go to where the buses go. The old Wetherspoons was a cinema when I lived here, but it's changed into a pub. At least it's not a charity shop. Right, off to the bus park. See if that old map's still there. Oh, it's still the bus park anyway. Still the bus park. Victoria Square car park. That'll be the back of the old post office. Let's see if the old map was there. The map was great because as a kid you could press on the map. Oh, and it was modern day. It was modern day. I think it's taken. I think the little shed where the old map was has gone. It was almost like a computer game. You could press on the location on the button, and a proper button as well. You could press on the proper button, and it would light up. So the bus park's half the size. Bus park is half the size, and so my map is not going to be here. No Braintree bus park map. Oh, completely changed. Completely changed. I wonder if they kept it Art Deco like or not. Beautiful wall. Beautiful wall sconces. This was where the screen would have been. This is actually where the bar is now, and they've still got the circle upstairs. But quite a lot of it's changed, which is sad, but at least the cinema is still here. It's got the Art Deco features, which I remember from back when I used to come here when it was the cinema. There's the old cinema doors. So it's always been called the Palace. But probably one of the nicest buildings in Braintree. There's the original cinema. That's how I remember it, but now it is a Wetherspoons. But they're friendly. They're friendly. I've got myself a cup of tea, and I'm going to have this, and then I'm going to scoop round some more of Braintree. That looks like possibly the worst cup of tea I've ever had, but this is, I had to make it myself, so that's probably why it doesn't look too appetising. I remember coming here and queuing to see Grease when Grease came out, and that was a night out. But yeah, I think I probably made myself the worst cup of tea that could possibly be made. But nice to see the circle up there. It seems a lot smaller than it used to be, but it's not. It hasn't changed in physical size. That's where the screen used to be at the front, which is now the bar. And the circle's still there. Back in the foyer again, and the guy said that there's some, the Embassy, Braintree, 1935. We've got some pictures on the wall. Let's have a look. They're not the original doors, but that was the original entrance to the cinema. There's the cinema how I remember it. And also there's another one over here. Now I don't remember that. That was back in 1935. Check out the chairs. Yeah, I don't remember that part of the cinema. I'm not so sure. So I'm now creeping up the stairs, this is where we used to, they are up here. They are up here. This is quite good I've come up here. There they are. Because this is where you used to come to the toilets in the cinema. You used to go down here and out the exit. I won't take you in there. Let's see if they've changed. But they're a bit more plush. That's so funny. Yep, they've changed. They're a bit more plush. Well, I don't know, the tiles look there. Tiles look like old tiles, don't they? Are they? I think they're old tiles. Oh, they've kept it sort of vintage, retro. Alright, that's as far as you go. I know it was a youth club at one point, but I can't remember what it was now. Was that where the bus station was, down there on the left of the youth club? Try and remember. Right, well, I'm going to have to make my way up to the top end of Braintree. Try and go through one of the Gants. So one of the Braintree Gants is through Tesco's. I think this is Hilly Gant. We'll find out anyway. This could possibly be Hilly Gant, which goes up to Tesco's. I think that was Hilly Gant. No sign though to say. Let's walk through and take you through. Don't think you really want to see pictures of the car park. Here's some of the old cobblestones. Can't believe it. There is actually some old cobblestones still left in Braintree. Because the council ripped all the cobbles up.
She doesn't never say.
And it's a shame because when I lived here, there was lots of cobblestones. Down at the bottom of Tesco's car park is the old mill house. That was Courtaulds Mill back in the day. And I do believe it's open as a museum sometimes. So hopefully on this trip I'll get down there to see the museum in Courtaulds. I'm going to try and go and see the old. So this is the house by Hilly Gant, which is now a restaurant, which is one of the older buildings in Braintree. Let's see if we can find Hilly Gant, which is coming out the back of Tesco's car park. And see if we can find Hilly Gant. It should be up this way, and the old lockup is definitely up this way. So it's the Hilly Gant. There's the lockup. There it is, still there. That's been 40 years since I've seen this place. I've never been in the lockup, fortunately. But there is the old lockup. Let's have a look. Built as an overnight lockup for restaurant and other drinks, drunk and disorderly, 1814, 1875. But it was also used as a ammunitions depot as well. So this is the Hilly Gant. I'm going to take you down the Hilly Gant. I was going to take you up to the 3 tons. The 3 tons is the 3 pubs, public houses in a line. The ale houses, old, and was commonly known as Hell, Little Hell and Damnation. But we're walking through the Hilly Gant to St Michael's Church. Walking through to St Michael's Church, and I'm going to have to head back up towards today's meeting point. So that's the Hilly Gant in Braintree. St Michael's Church. St Michael's Church, and I'm going to head back up to the top end of town, and then I'm going to have to carry on with the video tomorrow. Oh, quickly, while I'm here at St Michael's, just over here to the left is the house where the morning. St Michael's has always been a beautiful church, and I'm going to do a full video on that church. But just over here to the left, you see the little house on the end of that row of 5 townhouses. The little one on the end used to be the cobblers. That's where the Witch of Braintree, where her father lived, and she resided with her husband. And she was only 17 when she was, I think she was publicly hanged. So I'll have to go back and check on the history of that. So we're going to walk up to the top end of town, make our way back up there, and then in the next video I'll see if I know I've missed loads of the history of Braintree, but I've got to walk back up to the top end, and I shall put the extra bits in on my next walk. So let's get that one in there. Courtyard, it says courtyard. Can't actually tell where I am, but I think I should be able to make my way back up to town. I've got to get to the top end. I'm going to come out in the newer part of town. I'm by where the horn used to be many years ago, so this will be a gamp as well, I'm sure. I have to look that up. Now Costa Coffee, still the odd pigeon. This is where the horn was. I believe that's the horn on the right hand side. I believe that's the horn, but let's cut now Costa Coffee. I'm going to walk back up the top end of town. But yes, that was that's yard. So that was originally the horn in Braintree. Let's get back up to the top end. So many charity shops. It's quite criminal the amount of charity shops. Might take down. I think these two down here are historic buildings as well. So this is Pamfield Lane. I think we can call Pamfield Lane one of the central parts of Braintree. Just have a quick look. There's a couple of old buildings up here in Pamfield Lane. Everyone's looking at me like I'm some sort of leper. I'm not. It's just everything's changed. Okay, we've got a treatment centre here. And a Tomo's Tavern. I've not heard of that one before. So, good old building. Tomo's Tavern. That, and I can't say I remember it fondly, that old dental surgery. Yeah, that was like the stuff of nightmares, that. And the dentist was the stuff of nightmares as well. Yeah, so I do remember the old dental surgery, traumatised for life. There's an older building at the back. I'll take you for a little walk along here. Some of the more historical buildings in Braintree on the Rayne Road. Bikes out. Now up here used to be an amazing chip shop called the Blue Dolphin. That was up here on the left. And there used to be a cobbler's right in the house at the end. Let's have a look. Quite quaint little houses really. I remember this building up the end being like the cobblers, and now it's just turned into much for muchness. So I don't know if you can see, but the house up the end, the little one on the end, was the cobblers. I've got to go and have a quick look and then walk back down to the and get me lift. But all this has been so built up since I lived here. Sun's out, sun's shining though. The sun is shining in Braintree. So it appears to be like a little mortgage shop now. That just takes you down to Rayne Road.